So sit with your favorite cross. I already did the other cross this morning, so I'm sitting with my favorite cross this morning. I still need support for that other knee. I lean forward and move my buttock flesh away and spread the back of the thighs out. Then I kind of press and descend the groins. Make sure that they're soft. Then I put my hands on my knees and lift myself up. So I can use my arms to help me lift my spine, especially the anterior spine. You know, the back posterior spine is not as familiar to us, but we can use our hands here to lift the spine and move the shoulder blades deeper into your back or towards your chest. And then quietly bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes and just sit quietly, divorcing yourself from the day's activities, from what has to happen after the class or the rest of the week, and bring yourself to this very moment. Hatha Yoga Anushasana. Now begins the subject of yoga. You might, during this, somewhat contemplative time, ask yourself, what has brought you to this place? I often ask, what is my motivation for being here? So you just answer yourself and just keep that in your mind. Move those shoulders back and lift the armpit chest. Lift the rib cage quite off those pelvic bones. See that the abdomen stays back and is soft. Relax all your facial muscles, even, not even letting the upper teeth and lower teeth touch. Let the bottom palate kind of spread outwardly. Let the tongue spread towards the bottom of the palate. Be quiet and steady there. Longer, slower, and complete inhalation, followed by an exhalation. In gratitude, bow your head down towards your practice, towards all the teachers who've come before us to give us this gift that is yoga. And then release the hands and then lift the head up. Okay, so the first thing you'll do is you just simply slide off your blankets. You can keep that same cross. I'll assume it's your favorite. And you have your brick. Oh, I need to move back a little bit so you can see. Oops, same cross. So put your brick the long second height way, just to the outside of your right knee. I'll mirror you. Okay, so then you're going to cross your the opposite elbow on that brick, and then you're going to cross the top arm. So you're making an X on your bricks. Okay, and then head down without allowing the left buttock or sitting bone to come up. Relax your legs, relax your groin. If that doesn't work, guys, here, you can always do the highest height. If it's difficult, you can do the tall height. You can do the tall height. This is fine too. So you're turning the front ribs, you're turning that front left pelvic bone towards the right side. Okay, and then inhale and come up. Switch it over to the other side. Turn towards your left. Take the right arm around over the brick and then cross the Left arm on top and then forehead down. There's a gentle turn in the front of the abdomen, turning from right to left. Good. And whoever just joined us, welcome. I can't see. Small name is Pratima. Oh, hello. Yeah, I remember you. Okay, so then now come out of that, stretch your legs out straight. Decompression at the back of the knee. Press your knees down, just a gentle Dandasana, roll the shoulders back. Okay, now cross the other way. Put your brick in front, and now you're just going forward. Now, if I'll show you from the side. I already know my head goes to the floor. If your head doesn't go to the floor, you can have, a pile of blankets for your head. But the point is extension of the side body, extension of the armpit chest. So I'm going forward, and I'm either here or I'm here. The abdomen almost is a non-event. It's a non-entity. It's not really doing anything. Use your limbs. In this case, your bottom limbs, your legs are absolutely passive, but your arms are active. Use your arms to extend the side body, the sides of the trunk, especially the armpit area. Okay, so since we did the other pose that way, we won't do the second crossing. So inhale and stand up. If you could be, I'm basically going to show you the orientation in order for me to help you the most, that would allow me the best view. So if you could put yourself up against a wall. My heels are maybe 2-3 inches away from the wall. Feet together or slightly apart. I'll let you make that choice. So it's basically Tadasana. And then we'll do Urdhva and then we'll do Parshva. You could call it Parshva Urdhva, or you could call it Parshva Tadasana. But first, we did some of this morning. So because we have the wall as a good prop here, you'll bend your knees. Okay, now what that does, you can feel the back of the waist and the buttocks on the wall. Can you not? Yeah. And now I'm going to pull the front of the pelvis from the crease to the navel up and the back of the pelvis down when I straighten the legs. So strong, strong legs. Feel the weight more in your heels. Pin those outer shoulder bones back to the wall. Okay, now goalpost. Goalpost. Now you will be able to feel if your trapezium and your shoulder blades go up towards your neck. Do not allow that. Strong legs. Pull up from the bottom of the pubic plate towards the top of the chest. And now you're going up into, now as you start to go up, the palms can turn to face one another, but your shoulder blades should not come up. Your thumbs should graze the wall and lift up. So watch, if this happened and your shoulder blades came up, then you need to come back down, do your goalpost again, keep those shoulder blades, trapezium down, and go up, go wider, especially if you're stiff in the shoulder, go wider. This is fine. So the shoulder blades, trapezium should not come up. Still back of the buttocks, tailbone down, front of the thighs, pelvis up. Lift your trunk quite up off your legs. Feel the extension of the side body. Okay, all right, and now release down. So now we'll take this into the Parshva. So if you want to go back and do this, it's not a bad thing to do. You could bend your knees again, scoop the buttocks down the wall, have your goalpost arms, and now straighten the legs. Okay, now reach the arms up. I guess I'll be your mirror image. So your right wrist is going to hold your right hand is going to hold your left wrist. Okay, so I'm reaching up, I'm not pulling, so here it even changes my voice, right? I keep the shoulders down, I keep the hands at the wall. Now I'm bending at the waist, I'm not changing the legs or the hips. And I go over and I get maximum length extension on the side body. I pull that top arm with the bottom arm. See how I'm not moving the hips? I'm keeping the hips in Tadasana, and the Parshva comes from the waist. And I pull. Shoulder blades move down the wall still. Some of you don't look very Parshva-y. Bend, and pull, Chaya, pull. There you go, yeah. All right, and then inhale and come up. And just let the arms rest down. Tadasana, goalpost arms, shoulder blades down, trapezium down. Okay, now reach the arms up. Feel, where are your shoulder blades? They haven't traveled upwards. They're staying down and into your back or towards your chest side. At the same time, watch, if I come away from the wall, I'm not doing this because I have the wall there to give me some good information as to whether I'm staying straight or not. Okay, so now your left hand grabs your right wrist. Both elbows straight. Some of you, I saw this bottom elbow was bending. So both arms straight. Pull, and now take the trunk over, you're bending at the waist. Maximum length, extension of not just the side you're moving away from, but the side you're moving towards. Aha. Good. All right, and now come up. Okay. So I am, Chaya, going to take the first part of this class from this morning. So it would be great if you could have your orientation the same way as you see me, where you're facing front on to the camera. Just step your feet a wide distance apart. Okay, you don't have the wall, but what you do have is your hands, and you can use your hands to lift up the front of the pelvis. And I'm doing this, right, with the back of the pelvis. So I'm pulling the sacrum and the tailbone down and as if through the legs. Everybody got that much? Okay. So I'll be your mirror image. Take your left hand and devise, for lack of a better word, sort of another prop here on the left hip. So I'm actually kind of cupping it like this, and my forefingers are reaching towards the inside of that pelvic bone, and it's pulling it back strongly. Okay, keep your left foot exactly where it is. Keep pulling that hip back. If you can see, I don't know if you can, I'll go this way. I think that's what I did this morning. I'm pulling, and that shoulder and that armpit just stays way back. All right, so let me go back here. Keep your left foot absolutely parallel to the edge of the sticky mat and rotate your right thigh out from the root of the thigh. Now you see, on me, you see how the hips are no longer level. So what do I have to do to make the hips level? I can use this hand and pull back. Then I can use this arm to reach up, and I create a lot of space here in this lower pelvic region and the navel band. and I pull up and I try to make my hips level. I just keep on working on it. Can you see? Is it clear? Okay, now exhale and take your trunk over for Utthita Trikonasana. Keep your back hand, that'll be your left, on that hip and pull it back. Okay, now the idea is to equally extend the two sides of your trunk. So this bottom side, right side, top side, left side. Evenly extend and push the bottom ribs forward. Take the top ribs back. Then turn your head and look up. If you feel firm, steady, comfortable, and that back hip is behaving itself and staying back, then you can reach that top arm up. Turn the head as much as possible. Watch that bottom shoulder, keep it away from your ear. Okay, strong legs. Inhale, stand up. Turn the feet back to center. Wait there a moment, this is Utthita Padasana, because we don't have the hasta part. Okay, descend the buttocks, pull the tailbone forward or into your body more, and lift from the strength of the legs. Lift this bottom pelvic area, pubic plate up towards the navel. Okay, now make a fulcrum for your hand, for your hip with your hand. Put it on your right hip and pull back. Turn from the root of the thigh, your left leg out. Reach the left arm up and try to make your hips level. Pull up, hips up. So, the tendency is this. So we don't want to start the pose like this. You have to pull up that top hip, that front hip. Pull the back one back. Now exhale, extend the trunk. All right, I'm going to come and look at you since you know a little bit more about what you're doing there. Okay, move your bottom ribs forward and your top ribs back. Don't let the top ribs poke up. Think even extension of the two sides of the trunk. Right? If you feel that your trunk is pretty much in line with your hips, then you can take that top arm up. Don't let the back hip come forward. Pull up that front quadricep. Good. All right, good. All right, and now inhale and stand up. Okay, so we're going to use the same process for Utthita Parshvakonasana. I skipped that one this morning. So in all the lateral side bending poses, there is to be, this even extension of the trunk. I hope you felt it, with the help of the wall. Hopefully that helped you somewhat. So in Utthita Parshvakonasana, it's a little bit more complicated because the front leg is bent. What I'd like to try today is to put the hand on the inside of the foot. So if you need a block, you have your block ready, and it would be on the inside of your right foot. So just step the feet apart. Utthita Padasana. So your hands can be with your thumbs guiding your sacrum and buttocks down while the front of the thigh is pulling the bottom of the pelvis up. Okay, now keep your left foot absolutely parallel to your sticky mat and turn your right leg out from the root of the thigh. Now, for me, I see this already starts to droop. So I'm going to use that hand on that fulcrum, and I'm going to use the front leg hand to help me lift up and keep the two sides of the trunk hips parallel to one another. Okay, now slowly bend and form your square. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, coming down to your square. And now bring the hand on the inside of that foot. Okay, push the knee against the arm. The buttock, that right buttock has to tuck under you more. Now, this hand is still on this hip. Can you uncover these bottom ribs a little bit? So pull that top shoulder back and push the bottom ribs forward as the top ribs stay back. Okay, and if you feel like you're doing well, you can reach your hand overhead. So reach the arm palm up and then overhead. Look up beyond that top hand. Maximum length, extension of the two sides of the trunk. Back leg really strong. Press it back. Keep it firm, especially at the knees. Both knees, actually. All right, and now inhale and come up. Good job. Change your grip to the other side. I don't know if that helps you, but it helps me. So, what we were given as Iyengar teachers, I was lucky enough to study with because one time in my short Iyengar, well, while he was living, I started in '99 and I met him in 2005. So he gave us directions and he says, I want you to teach from experience. So that's what I'm giving to you because this was taught to me. I learned from it. It helped me greatly in my hips. So I'm imparting it on you. It's experiential type of teaching as opposed to just rotely teaching something. Okay. My hands are on my hips. I'm pressing the feet down, pulling up through the legs. That, the bottom floor of the pelvis, even that has to lift up. Okay, now your right hand goes on your hip and you're turning your left leg out. Really pull that hip back. Turn from the root of the thigh. I'm going to use this hand and help me level my hips. Lift up, level those hips. Pull up that turned out quadricep. Okay, and now bend into a square. Keep pulling on that back hip. Come down into your square. Dig that buttock under you more. And then find the brick right next to your foot. Push the inner knee into that arm. Keep pulling that hip back and then bring these bottom ribs forward. Top ribs back. Push that front leg buttock under you more as those ribs come forward. Back, top ribs back. And then the top arm can come up, palm up. If you want, you can take the arm overhead. Look beyond that hand. And make the two sides of the trunk parallel to each other as you turn. Yeah, good. All right, and now you can straighten the leg and stand up. Okay. Take Baddha Hastasana as a recovery pose. So I'm going to go a little bit wider than my hips. I inhale, reach up, bind my arms. Exhale, down. Let your breath recover. Keep pulling the legs up. Okay, so some of you, it's hard for you to get I'll show sideways. If this is hard, right, the arms they're here. you're probably better off just taking the arms forward and head down. You're not going to be able to recover if the arms aren't behind the head. You can just let the hands go down. Okay. Okay. Inhale and slowly come. So, I have a mat. I have many mats, but I have a mat that has lines on it. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Can you see the lines on my mat? Okay. So, if I were to take what is known as a wide Virabhadrasana 1, I'm doing it for my hips. So I'm going to put, let's see, you'll do your right, and if you could face me like this, that'd be great. You'll put your right foot, I've got a line there. You could just put it on the edge of your sticky mat, right? Or the line, whatever. So your right foot is pointing straight ahead. Your left foot, if I go this wide, that's a bit much. So the width I'm talking about for our Virabhadrasana today, for the hips, is to the width this way, the separation between the two legs. So I'm going to come in a little bit from that line. And there's my pose. Yeah, so it's a wide space between the two legs. Okay, now I need to show you something from behind. Your back hand is going to come onto the innermost back of the thigh, and it's going to help you spin the groins from inside out. And it's going to stay there. The front hand is going to lift the bottom of your pelvis up. So I'll just do it real quick like this to show you how that front back hand stays on that thigh. And I bend into my square. Or back hand on the thigh, front hand on the pelvis. And so I bend. So, you know, the Virabhadrasana 1 is neither a forward bend or a back bend. The trunk is to be directly over the hips. What do you see in all the commercials? You know, if you watch network, my husband watches sports. So I see all these bad warrior poses where the trunk is over the front leg, like this, right? So our goal today is to keep the weight in the back leg and keep the trunk over the hips, not in front of it. Okay, so you decide how wide you need to go. Place your your left hand on the back of the thigh and spin that groin from inside out. Front hand on the pelvis, and now bend. Keep the weight in the back leg. Press that back heel back. Turn the trunk as much to face forward. So I'm not turning it directly over this leg. I'm just facing forward. Does that make sense? I'm not going over here. This is forward. It's going to make the final pose easier. Are you getting it? Yeah, and now, Gabe's husband, you turn your trunk towards your right. Yes, yes. Pull up from the bottom of your shorts there at the crease and lift the pelvis up towards the navel. But now you have to turn. Turn, yes. Keep your weight in your back leg. Yeah, and watch the knee, Chaya, that it doesn't move in and out. Keep it strong. Yeah, that's nice, everyone. Okay, now try the other side. So you step your left leg forward, your right leg back. So my hand, I come here at the bottom, you know, where the crease is, and I pull my shorts, my tights, up a lot. And then I spin the groin to turn the back of the thigh out, and then I bend. I keep the trunk facing forward as much as possible. Keep pushing into that front foot so that the weight stays on your back heel. Weight stays on your back heel. Yeah, now turn the trunk a little bit more to face over that front leg. Yeah, turn your ribs more. Pratima, yes, that's it. Okay, and now come up. So now you get to use your arms to help you further extend the trunk. Now what I'd like for you to experiment with is a happy medium between that wide stance and one that won't spill your trunk forward. So, okay, so you saw mine. I'm gonna go something like that. I'm still a little wide. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna keep the weight in the back leg. Then my arms are gonna come up. Then I'm gonna bend into my square. And I keep the trunk straight up over the hips. Yeah? All right, your turn. Elbows straight, Chaya. Elbows locked. Lock those elbows. Yeah, don't look down. Keep the weight, keep pushing the front foot into the front foot so you can keep the weight in the back leg. Yeah, that's nice, gaze husband. Now arms back a little bit. Bend, Pratima. Bend in the hip. Bend in the hip. Don't look down. Bend in the hip. Strong, compact hips. Yeah, nice, Amelia. You can bend a teeny bit more. You got 2 more inches to go, Amelia. Un poquito más. Ribs back. Go up with the trunk. Weight in the back leg. Yeah, and watch, gaze husband, that knee doesn't go beyond your ankle. Wider longer stance in that case. Okay, and now release. Come up, just walk a little circle around. It's kind of intense on the hips. Okay, second side. Left leg forward, right leg back. Hand on the back of the inside of the back of your thigh, back thigh. Turn. Turn. Pull the front of the pelvis up. Keep the weight in the back leg. Reach the arms up. Turn the trunk to face over that front leg. Exhale. Bend into a square. You don't have to look up. The ultimate is to look up. But reach those arms up. Bend at the hip, Pratima. Bend. Bend at that front hip. Yes. Bend. Keep the weight. Keep pushing into that. Like you're pushing the floor away from you on the front foot to keep the weight in the back leg. Okay, your trunk is coming nicely. Now you just have to bend enough. Yes, bend. Don't be afraid to bend. This is medicine for the hips. Very nice. Okay, inhale and come up. Do your other crossing of Baddha Hastasana. So I first went up and I reached my right elbow first. If this is difficult, you're just doing your Uttanasana with either your hands forward or your hands down. Otherwise, you're holding the opposite crossing. Baddha Hastasana. Keep the knees lifted, kneecaps lifted, thighs pulled up and firm. Okay, inhale and come up, Prasarita Padottanasana. We'll wind down with some of that standing pose work. So take your feet a wide distance apart. Stand firmly on that outer foot bone and pull up from the bottom floor of the pelvis. Lift up, press the thighs back. See that your bones are stacked, right? You know, I come from more of the hypermobile family because I was a ballerina. So, you know, I used to do this. You can see the distortion of the leg. So I actually have to stop that and make this leg stronger than the calf. So I have to pull up, pull up. Okay. Inhale. Hands are on your hips. Inhale, look up, exhale. Don't allow the hips to move forward or back. Reach the hands forward. Maximum length in the trunk. Then walk your hands back to be in line to your feet, your fingertips, toe tips. Palms are shoulder distance apart. And then on an exhalation, pull with your hands. You can see how I'm pulling with my hands to bring my head down. The trunk is released. The work is in the legs. If it's too much, you're welcome to do this against a wall. And with a chair, Gay's husband. You can always use a chair. Did we lose Gay completely, or is she just giving you the camera? It's okay. Okay, Pratama, Shraddha, faith. Have some faith in your pose. Pull the trunk down. Don't hold the trunk up in any way. Have some faith in your legs and your hips. There's a wrapping action of the outer hips. The adductors and abductors have to absolutely pull up into the hip socket. Now go back to being where you are. Okay, and now walk forward your hands just so they're underneath your shoulders. Pull those shoulders back, and this is the part, if you have any neck issues, don't miss this work. So pressing the hands down, pulling the shoulders back, extend your chinny chin forward without letting the abdominals drop. The abdominals stay, you know, up towards the spine, and I'm pulling my chin forward. You know, as we age, we lose that cervical curve. This is one way you can work on it to get it back. Probably Gay's husband, could you have a couple of bricks nearby? So I would say for you, you know, this might be the better option. Shoulder distance. Because your dorsal spine, your thoracic spine was rounded. So we want to bring the dorsal in and pull the chin forward. Spread the legs, spread the buttock bones apart. Yeah, that's better. Move the shoulder blades deeper into your back. Chin forward. Chin forward. So if you were to be able to reach around to C7, Gay's husband, you want C7 to feel as though it's moving into your body. Do you know where C7 is? At the base of the neck. I know everything there is to know about necks because of two rear end collisions. Okay, inhale and come up, put your hands on your hips and come up on the strength of your legs. All right, how many of you, can you do Virasana? Where is your Virasana, Chaya? Are you up on a brick? Up on a brick. Okay, so it could either be flat, it can be on a rolled blanket, it could be on a brick. I'll show you a couple different, or a bolster. Yeah, most definitely a bolster. I would like you to be able to go over into Supta Virasana after. So a little bit of work in regular Virasana with arms in Badanguliasana, and then we'll go backwards. And you can always have, well, I'll just have this nearby to show you with a bolster. Let's see. So I move that calf out of the way and sit down on that little rolled blanket. Extend. So you're pulling the bottom of the knee forward this way, up, up, and the the top of the shin backwards towards the foot. So this lengthens in this direction. Don't let the knees roll in. Try to keep the outer knee pressing down. So you're just sitting, you can just bring the hands forward. Mr. Iyengar shows this one. Roll the shoulders back, ascend the spine. Okay, and then interlace the palms. Spread the palms away from you and lock your elbows. Bend at the finger joints, at the root of the palm. Exhale, take the arms up. Reach the sides of the trunk up. How are we doing? Arms back, shoulder blades in, arms back. There you go. Yeah, better. Don't let the chin go down though. So chin up, ribs back. So none of this. All right, so ribs back, abdomen back, arms back, chin up. All right, and then come down. Just rest there, take the hands out to the side, roll the shoulders back, extend your fingers. Okay, then change the interlock. So it should feel like the different way that you hold your loved one's hand. Press the palms away from you. Pull the upper arms back towards their sockets. Bend at the root of the palm. Exhale, take the arms up and back. So remember what I was saying about, the front of the body and the back of the body. Excuse me, we have a stronger awareness of the front of the body. You have to lift your back body up in this pose. Chin up, arms back. Pratima, so it's not this. This is what I'm seeing. So go up, be straight, both sides of the trunk up. Much better. Good. Bend at the wrist. This is great for the arthritic stuff that goes on in our hands. Okay, so most of you are probably, able to do something with the rolled blanket. So I come back onto my elbows. Okay. Now I'm going to use my hands to lift my lower back, my sacrum up towards the back of the thighs to the buttocks, and keep the buttocks flat. If I'm not able to do this, I have a bolster back there, but still I don't want,
the low back or the sacrum to face the bolster's edge. I want the sacrum to face the floor. Now, let's say Gay's husband, that's difficult. You could take support underneath the knees like that. You could take a bolster here. I would technically need another bolster for my head. So then I start to go over the bolster and I move that buttock flesh towards the back of the legs. So here, this is an option. Basically, you want to try, excuse me, to have your knees and your hips at the same height. Or you're flat, Amelia, you're flat, right? You can be completely flat. And now reach your arms overhead. Maximum extension of the front of the trunk, the back of the trunk, and the side body. Have some energy or mindfulness, some lift at the back of the thigh where it meets the buttock. Lift up there and send that quadricep forward towards your kneecaps. Yeah, nice. Yeah, not bad, Gay's husband. I would just say not to let the knees go out quite so wide. It's not bad though. You're okay. Just know that in the future. Yeah, good. So some energy or some mindfulness, bringing the back of the thigh where the buttock meets the back of the thigh. Lift up there and shoot your quadriceps towards your knees. That's nice ankle flexibility, everyone. My 83-year-old dad took a fall on the ice the week of Snowmageddon, and I am very thankful for my flexible ankles. Okay. Nice. Okay, be there just, let's go 30 more seconds, staying mindful of that back of the thigh where the buttock crease meets the back of the thigh. Lift up there. Don't puff the abdomen though, right? The ribs stay down, the abdomen stays down. And now, Gay's husband, just hold your elbows. Hold your elbows. Yeah, and now reach those elbows back. Yeah, there you go. Supta Virasana. This is an everyday pose for me. All right, there went your 30 seconds. All right, so then you can unbind your arms. You can put your hands on the floor, head back, and lift your chest up to come up. All right. We're going to work on Paripurna Navasana. Paripurna Navasana. I'm not sure where any of you all are on the pose. So I'll show the pose and then I'll show you some alternatives. Paripurna means full or complete. And there is an acute angle between the trunk, the fold here at the thigh, and the top of the trunk. Okay, so I'm in Dandasana. I'm going to help, give my skin, muscles some help by pulling those thighs back towards the buttocks. Okay, and then I'm strongly, like, instead of 2 Roman columns, you have 1 Roman column. You're making the legs like 1. Okay, Now from Dandasana, I take the hands back just ever so slightly and I lean back a little bit. It doesn't matter if your elbows bend or not, but watch this trapezium. See, if I'm like this, my trapezium have come up. So I keep the trapezium down. So it doesn't matter that you're leaning back a little bit, whether the elbows, it's your proportions. That's what I'm trying to say. Your elbows might bend. So I have long enough arms, my elbows don't bend. So I'm looking at my feet and I'm going to will strongly, gluing the legs together. I'm going to lift the legs up, lean back, lift the legs up. The legs are much higher than the gaze, and take the arms at the side. A nice length for this pose is about 20 seconds. Steady, even, legs strong. Pull the chest up, sternum up. Okay. All right, so here's one way. If your angle was not very acute, you take a chair. It doesn't matter, it doesn't really have to be at the wall, it could be. And I've got the strap around, it's open and it's around the chair. Amelia, you're fine, you can just repeat this 2 more times on your own, hold for between 20 and 30 seconds. So I'm about the length of from my knee to my buttock bone, away from the chair. Knee to buttock bone. I lean back and I put the calves on the chair, just below the knee. I press down on the chair and lift the trunk up. So there I am in a pretty good Navasana. Shoulders down. I have something to pull onto. If this is too difficult, you have a strap there. And you can choke up on your strap. Okay, so your back shouldn't be so rounded. And that's why I gave you, so, okay. In Light on Yoga, he says, no part of your spine or your sacrum is on the floor. You're resting on your buttock bones. So if you go back so much, here's what I'd like for you to try, Gay's husband. You could have a little rolled blanket back there so that you don't tilt back so much. Does that make sense? And you're either holding onto the chair. Yeah. So that you're not going back, and the angle is acute, right? There's an acute angle. How are we doing? Now, I haven't said anything about how your abdominals are working. If your angles is correct, your abdominals will just pull in. Legs straight though, Chaya. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Now move the dorsal in and yes, and shoulders down. Shoulders down. Press down on the chair and pull the shoulders, roll this, move the shoulders back. Okay. Yeah, the roll helps. Pratima. Yeah. All right, so you finished, Amelia, and you're good. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of that. So that's just something you can work on. I don't know that, well, I think Gay's husband, I saw something there. Do you guys have a rope wall? You guys have a rope wall? So here's the other option. You have the rope wall. You're pretty close to the wall. You lean back. You put the legs at the wall. Yeah, so it's not this. You have something to hold on to and you pull the shoulders down. And then eventually you learn to move away from the wall without rounding. Okay. Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Here we go. Be a little bit away from the wall. Lay down and take a hold of the edges of your sticky mat with your knees bent. Tuck the shoulders under. And now watch. As I hold on to the edge of the sticky mat, I kind of push with my feet and I slide the shoulder blades and my hair, unfortunately, down my back. Okay, so I'm pinning my shoulder blades under me more. Okay, and I'm holding really strongly onto my sticky mat. My elbows are bent and I'm pushing down and out on my sticky mat. Now, I bend the knees and I take the legs up to 90 degrees. Pull the abdomen back towards the floor. Make your legs like one strong Roman column instead of two. Legs straight. It's very helpful to hold on to the edge of the sticky mat. All right, so Pratama, you're beyond 90. So press the thighs away from your abdomen. Yeah, away. Yes, there you go. Straighten your, at the top of your knee, Chaya. Straighten the knees. Yes. Okay, now here's what you'll do. I'd like 10. If you can, on the exhalation, you'll go down, not quite touching, almost touching, and then come back up to 90, 10 times. The movement is all on the exhalation. So when you went down, you exhaled, you paused a moment, you inhaled, and when you came up, you exhaled. Okay, go. Legs straight, legs even, a little bit lower, almost touching Pratama, and yeah, full extension of the legs and that firming of those outer hips in towards that wrapping action of the outer hips in towards the pelvis. You guys are counting, I'm not. Okay, Chaya, the only thing I see is you're a little timid. You got a nice 90 degree. And then when you start to go, your legs get almost loose. So keep them firm and strong together. Yes, keep extending, extend, extend, extend. Yes, and now come back up. Now here's another thing I should probably say. The caveat is if your lower back comes up a lot, you don't go down to almost touching the floor, like Pratama. Yeah, you maybe, go more like 10 or 12 inches, but legs straight. Tuck the shoulders, bend your elbows and pull that sticky mat both apart and down towards your feet. That will help you a lot. Abdomen towards the spine. Okay, always moving on the exhalation. Whatever the movement is, it's done on the exhalation. Okay, Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Okay, and now just release and relax. You can bend both knees in close to your chest, wrap the arms around, and you can roll all, so the lower back is extending towards your buttock flesh, and you're grabbing those knees in very tightly. Relax the groins. Your arms are doing the work. Okay, and now just bend, take your legs over to the right, and then inhale, come up. Have a bolster or a pile of blankets. Take your bolster to the right side. for Bharadvajasana. Bharadvajasana. So I sit up on that bolster's edge and I take my feet there on the outside. So I'm mirroring you, and you're on your right hip. The left buttock is off the bolster. You can sort of roll a little bit forward and take the leg that's on the bolster. That thigh should roll in so the back of the thigh spreads out. Okay, now you start turning. Amelia, you bind? If you can bind, you can go ahead and bind. I'm assuming nobody else binds. So you'd reach around with your right arm. Hold that bicep. And turn. If that's difficult, don't mind. And just turn. I'm grabbing my sticky mat that's behind me, and I'm helping me turn. So turn your rib cage, turn your chest, and lift up, look up. There is a little bit of a back bend quality to Bharadvajasana, and it's in the thoracic. So if you feel the shoulder blades move deeper into your back, and you can, be a little snooty, I always like to say in this pose, and lift the head and have a little bit of a baby back bend in that upper chest. Turn, turn, turn. Oh, I get lots of pops in this pose. That just means, there's just space being made. It's just air. And then I bring the legs out to the side, move my bolster over to the other side. Sit up with the left buttock on that and feet to the right. So the leg that's closest to the bolster, the leg of the buttock that's on the bolster is crossing, and the back leg is in Virasana. All right, now I lean forward and spin that back of the thigh. If you'd like to bind, you're reaching that left arm from behind. Inhale. Exhale, turn. So what I like about the binding in Bharadvajasana is it keeps your hips stable. And it doesn't matter where that hand goes. Gaze husband, that's fine. It can go up, it can face down, that top hand, but you're turning, it can face down or up, does not matter. But you're turning as much as possible with the stability in the hips. You're turning the ribs, you're turning the chest, you're turning the shoulders. And then the last part, if you want a little bit of a back bend, is to move that thoracic spine in, look up. Okay, and then release. Show you a kind of a new fun way to do a fabulous Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana. That's upward facing forward extension pose. So do you see how, here my bolster is flat. It's kind of flat, right? Here my bolster is tall. Okay, so now I'm putting that right here. Actually, first, before I do that, I'm going to take my thighs, spin the inner thighs, the groins, roll in so the backs of the thighs can roll out. Then I take my bolster on its tallest way, skinny, tall way, and I press it down into my thighs. Now, I reach up, and where you work so hard to get some length in the pelvis in Supta Virasana, you're lengthening that up And then you're coming forward and you're quite using your elbows and forearms to press that down. And you're lifting the front of the trunk from the hip crease to the navel and to those first few ribs up. So I'm pressing down into the bolster to ground my thighs, shoulders back. Here, now I say to myself, wow, that feels so good. Can I keep what my arms are helping me do with those legs? And Gay, definitely go, Gay's husband, go wider with the legs, because that'll give you more space. Yeah, press down. Okay, so now I want to keep that idea. I'm not going to get to use my arms in the Urdhva Mukha version, but I keep the forearms pressing, lift up, reach up, and grab the feet. Now I have to pull the front of the trunk from the crease to the navel to the first few ribs, up that bolster, shoulders down, pull up, spread open the back of your thighs. Should feel good. Yeah. If you can't grab your feet, you know, you can always use the strap. So I've just got my hands around my toe tips, my fingers on my toe tip, and I'm pulling up, shoulders down. Okay, now you have some imprint of what the legs have to do and what the front of the trunk has to do. Now take your bolster on its flat way, squeeze it. I'm going to fix my thighs again, roll the front thighs in, spread the backs of the thighs out. Reach up. Do everything that I did from learning with that bolster, how the thighs have to press down. Reach up. Now I'm going to try to go for the outside edges of my feet. Pull the front of the trunk up, move the shoulder blades deeper into the chest. Bend the elbows out to the side. Your sternum should rest on the bolster's edge. Then your face and your forehead. So push the shoulder blades towards the anterior spine. So Pratama, I don't see much. This is what I see. So you might say, okay, it's not happening for me today. You bring your height a little higher. And you get this extension. So really in reality, Paschimottanasana, the back extends from the buttock flesh, from where the buttock bones are. All of this is coming up and over towards the head side. So I was just focusing on the front of the body. But now what I see, you know, it's always teach to what you see. So now what I see is you might have to come back here and use your hands and lift that buttock flesh up and over. Reach up, extend. Sternum on that support. And push the shoulder blades deeper into your back. Oh, now that looks better already. Let me see what you've done. You just put. Yeah. Okay, now pull with your hands. Can you grab the outsides of your feet? Yeah, now pull. And imagine I am there and I am putting very gently, maybe Amelia and Chaya might be the only ones that I've actually touched in real person, but I'm putting gently my two hands on your shoulder blades. And when I do that, it causes the posterior spine to move into the spinal column. Okay, that's the key to our central nervous system. So vitally important as we age, so that our spine doesn't become you know, basically disfigured or, you know, malformed. Yeah. And then eventually you can reach beyond your feet, Amelia, reach beyond your feet, around, you know, beyond the bolster or on the floor, does not matter. Keep reaching and feel the extension of the whole back body, from buttock flesh to sacrum to low back to rib cage, back of the ribs, ribs to shoulder blades. Okay. Whew. And now inhale and come up. So I don't think could just raise a hand of how many regular practice Sarvagasana. Probably just Amelia and Chaya. Oh, Pratima. Okay. And Gay's husband doing any shoulder stand work yet? No. Okay. All right. So I'll do Chatuspadasana with him. And then you guys, Pratima and Chaya, are you doing shoulder stand right now? Chair, shoulder stand. Okay. Chair, shoulder stand is fine. Amelia's getting her blankets ready for shoulder stand. Have your strap nearby if you're just doing Chatuspadasana. I want to keep my eye on how you go. Okay. Pratima's using a chair as well. Amelia, you're welcome to use Halasana if you want to go over into Halasana first to really work how the shoulders have to tuck under. Good. Yeah. Safety is key, right, Chaya? Safety is key. Yeah. Find the shoulders. Shoulders find the blanket. Keep the legs hooked. Very nice. Yeah. So remember that area, Chaya, where I said, you know, the buttock flesh meets the buttocks. When you're in the Setubandha version, lift that area. Not so much in Viparita Krani. Viparita Krani version, it's more the front of the thighs. So curve over that front edge. I'll be with you in just a second, Gay, making sure everybody's safe. Amelia, I would say, you know, your thighs have to go back more. Your tailbone has to come in more forward, front, where your thighs meet your trunk. Take that back, more. Yes, like that. All right, so then Gay's husband, we got a strap here. And we're gonna take Chatuspadasana with the strap around the front of the ankles. Oh, you can, I saw you had you had a blanket, and that's fine for your shoulders. I quite like that for my shoulders and my neck, like that. Make sense? So I tuck and roll, tuck the shoulders under. So same thing that you did when we were getting ready to do Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, where you kind of let the skin of your back body get taken under you more, so it's going more towards your waist. Okay, so you got the strap, and my palms are up, my thumbs are out. like I'm hitchhiking. Okay, so I tuck and roll. Okay, and now I toe in, inhale, and then on an exhalation, I lift up. Pull with your arms, the shin slightly back, and lift the bottom of the back of the thighs where the buttock crease meets. Yeah, pull with your strap, lift the bottom. Oh, have the blanket not underneath your head, but underneath your shoulders. Shoulders and a little bit of your neck. Yeah. Okay. Hold the strap. Yeah, I didn't do anything fancy like that. I just have it like this. Just across the front of the ankles. I have seen that before, and I would think it would help lift the inner thighs, but it doesn't do a whole lot about the outer thighs. So here I am. It's just across, one long strap is just across the front of my ankles. I lay down, I catch my shoulders, and I tuck and roll. Walk the feet in, toe in, inhale, exhale, lift. Lift the glutes. Lift the glutes. Meet the thighs roll in. Thighs roll in. Nice. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so Pratima, thighs back. Thighs back. Yeah, reach up. Yeah, extend the legs up. There's a happy medium in Sarvangasana. And then Gay's husband, you do it 3 times, maybe 30 seconds at a time you're staying, and then you come down. But there's really, the legs have to energetically extend upwards. Okay, if you're down, you're down. And Amelia, did you do any variations? Just, okay. You like press your hands down, turn the palms up, Gay's husband, palms up, but hold the strap. Hold the strap, and now turn the whole upper arm out and thumbs towards the floor. Thumbs towards the floor. You have to make a good kind of wrap around with the wrists. Yeah. Good. Make the back of your neck nice and long and move the shoulder blades deeper into your back. So the chest comes closer to your chin as opposed to the chin coming closer to your chest. All right, now Amelia, let's see Karna Padasana. It's my most favorite variation of them all. Yeah, yeah. Now let that buttock flesh come over. So from your sacrum, let all that buttock flesh come over towards the back of the knee. Keep going. Keep going. Now reach around and hold your ankles. Let the buttocks go. Keep going. Over, over. Yes, keep going. Yeah. You can let the feet be flat. Buttocks up, Pratima. Buttocks up. Yeah. Pull the shins back towards you. Yes. Nice. Okay. And now everybody come out and just lay flat. Be comfortable. Get your creature comforts. If you like a head blanket, if you have an eye pillow, whatever you prefer. I was talking in the class this morning how a teacher recently was explaining how corpse pose, it's the dead body pose, but it's not the checking out pose. So you're supposed to check in with your inner, truest, most self. Don't let your head go back, Gay's husband. Don't let it go backwards. So so take your, let's see if I can show you that. you're like a little bit like that. So you take the back of your neck in your hands and you extend, lengthen the back of the neck for, back of the neck towards the top of the head, crown of the head. So when you open your eyes, you should be able to see the apex of your chest. Then join your legs and then reach the legs out 2 by 2 at the same time. Fully extend the legs. Tuck the shoulders a little bit more and then let go of the legs, let go of the arms. And then as I said this morning, imagine you're going out on a nice peaceful walk in the woods somewhere. And you want to take these 3 things with you. You want to take your mind, you want to take your body, and you want to take your breath. So stay aware of those 3 things in your Shavasana. Let go, be there completely. Invite peace to come along and have the walk with you. Let all the cares of the world go and imagine you're being cradled by the earth or by the imaginary woods about you. Swaddled in its warmth to eventually be rocked by the infinite. As if it really didn't matter which way you went on your walk. It doesn't matter which way is home. Feel somewhat absolved and free of all your burdens. Maybe you just have the cares of a dog. The dog's pretty happy. He gets petted, he's happy, he gets food, he's happy. We humans are a little bit more complicated than that. Let your heart feel rest. And the ultimate Shavasana is when you can let go of any distractions and still be in the pose. Okay, begin to become aware of the surroundings. Take a longer, slower, deeper inhalation, followed by longer, slower, deeper exhalation. Bring your hands in one by one. Bend up your knees. Bring your knees in a little bit closer so you almost feel a little bit embryo-like. And then use your left hand on the floor and then your right hand. Head is the last thing that comes up. Sit up tall and straight. Honor your practice with just a moment, kind of checking in. Okay, how do I feel? What did I learn about me today? Bring your hands to your heart. in gratitude for the practice, the gift that is yoga, in gratitude for the community that we have at Austin Yoga Tree. Namaste. Okay, guys.